Executive Chairman of Carpentaria Exploration, Nick Sheard, joins me. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, Chris. How are you?
I'm going well. Now, yesterday when I saw you, I said you'll be wiping the sweat from your brow because things are kind of sorted out from the boardroom level.
Yes, I think we're very happy. We've seen the sort of light at the end of the tunnel. We got over our problem with one of our investors that we did a deal, last-minute deal actually. It took us a few weeks to organise, but right at the death knell we signed a deal which actually brought our Horseless project right into focus. It's a good deal. We've done a deal where we're going to inject funds back into Carpentaria. It's 3.8 million actually. They are going to buy the stake that was with the liquidator, 40% stake, for 3.25 million. And then they're committed to spend $5 million extra on the bankable feasibility. Now, the beauty is, of course, it brings in funds to Carpentaria that we spent in the last few years because we haven't stopped spending. We've been going through, but being a small company, it was sort of getting a bit worrisome at the end when we were spending all that money. But we continued the project, and we've added a lot of value to it. At the end of their $5 million, they will own 40% of it, and we will own 60%. But one of the advantages is that these guys are Hong Kong and Beijing based, and consequently they can talk to major investors in China, which we've been trying to do obviously, but they're right on the doorstep there. So hopefully we'll bring in a big, what we're calling gorilla, to fund the rest of the project, and that's what a project this size needs.
But talking to a lot of people, that's one of the key things, isn't it? Because it's one thing to be a junior and an explorer, but certainly in the end you've got to start making holes in the ground, and that costs a lot of money.
That's where the money starts coming out. Our bankable feasibility study, as I said, is sort of underway at the moment, and we're doing the lower cost items, but soon we're going to have to do some reserve drilling. We're probably spending another 20-25 million just to do the feasibility study. We're obviously very confident, but once you've done the feasibility study, then the real big money comes in. And we're actually looking at our possibilities, or different possibilities for the project. We've actually got, we've always been saying it's a 20 million tonne per annum project, but we're looking perhaps of reducing it at the start to 10 million tonnes and going for a bit longer, and that would make the program a lower cost program, which is investors would be a lot happier with. So it's one of the beauties of this project is that we've got the rail line, which we can get 13 million tonnes per annum on, and we've got a working port. And it's really, you start looking at the poor blokes in WA, they haven't got any ports, they haven't got any railway lines, and we've actually got a working port. So it's it's a good project in that regard.
Now, you also got approval from state government as a major project. How does that actually help the operation?
It's actually, we call a state significant project. The thing about that, it's given us an EIS template, as it were, to work through, that we have to tick off all the boxes within 2 years of November last year. That then will grant us, once we tick all those boxes off, they will give us the mining lease. What we're doing now is preparing our application for that mining lease, which is, to my mind, is very significant because it's showing that we're really serious. So we've got to get a mining lease to allow us to mine, and that's probably an 18-month process too. But being granted significant project status puts us hopefully on the top of the pile in the bureaucratic bunch that in government there.
When it comes to getting a mining lease, I mean, what do you have to show? Do you have to just show willing, or do you have to show that you actually have the ability to do something with that lease?
Initially, you've got to show the government that you've got all your heritage clearances, your environmental clearances done. You have to put in an area where you're going to do the mining. You've got to show where you think the infrastructure is going to be. So you've got to work out the area that you are going to apply for. And it's not insignificant because you're paying a lot of money for this area per hectare. So you do all that. And then you've also got to have land access agreements, because that's significant that you've got to be able to get on there and work with the landowners. So there's quite a few boxes to tick to show that you at the early stages, you don't have to really show that you've got the money to go through with it. But obviously, you wouldn't be putting all this money up, because at the end of the day, I think it's going to cost us probably $1.5 million just for the mining application. So you're not going to do that if you haven't got the money.
As far as the kind of wrinkles that may get in your way, I mean, you're going through the EIS process at the moment. Is that likely to throw up anything that's going to cause you a problem?
We don't anticipate it, because we've been doing a lot of environmental works for the last 18 months, and we feel we should be all right with that. It's western land areas, it's grazing country. There's not any major creeks flowing through it, so we think it should be reasonably easy to get it. We've got a company, GHD, doing our work, and so we subcontract that out to other guys to do it who've got. These guys are from Mildura. They know the areas, the Broken Hill area. So, you always say you don't anticipate problems, but it should be relatively simple, as long as we've got to go through 2 seasons to prove that particularly runoff with rain is very important. And so we're now in our 2nd season anyhow. And I think I told you before, Chris, we've got a weather station out there that monitors everything. We've been doing that for over 12 months now, so I think we're well on the way there.
When that happens, you say the money you've got from your new partner or existing partner who's come on board. Yeah. When that money, as you said, runs out, as it will, what's the next stage after that? I mean, what will you have in a row? Will you have the EIS done? Will you have all of those leases in place? What is the next thing at that point?
The next process for the money, so to speak, is being very upfront with other investors. We've got to get that gorilla in the door. Mm-hmm. We do have a few people we're talking to at the moment. And what we found in the past, we talked to a number of times, as soon as there was liquidators involved, as soon as there was a court involved, yeah, people backed off. But now that's being removed. We're sort of seeing people come to us. So what we're also finding is that people have sort of realised that this is a bloody good project, and it's got long life, it's low cost, and so people are starting to come and talking about investing in it. So I think with this $5 million, it gives us a couple of, probably 12 months to really get these guys in the door. Obviously, when that happens, the thing will go gangbusters. That's my view, but we just got to get them in.
Nick Sheard, thank you for talking to us.
Thanks, Chris.
Nick Sheard, Carpentaria Exploration, and gangbusters is the word. We'll use that next time we talk to him. It's